Right, how's it going guys? In today's video I have 5 glove and knife combos for you in CSGO, starting as cheap as around £160, working our way up to about the £500 mark. I think that should mean we have something here for everyone watching this video, but if you're looking for something a little bit more expensive, drop a comment, and if enough of you want that, I'll make a video with more expensive combos. But with that out of the way, let's jump straight into it, starting at the cheaper end with the Driver Gloves Lunar Weave. These start at around £85 in battle scarred and they look okay, but spending a little bit more to get them in well worn is a good choice and will make them look a lot better. Right, as for knives with these, any of the Night Stripe knives work really well. Luckily these are more towards the budget end of knives, with the Navajar, the cheapest one, costing just £75 in field tested. Personally however, I'd go for something a little bit more expensive like the Ursus for £135 or the Nomad for £180, both of these in field tested. But there are lots of other good options like the classic knife, stiletto or talon knife, depending on how much you're looking to spend. Okay, next up we have a combo built around the sports gloves big game. Now I already hear you saying, how are we having sports gloves at this budget? But let me show you something. These are the big game gloves in factory new, and here are them in battle scarred. Compared to some battle scarred gloves, these actually look quite good, so that's what we'll be using in today's video. These come in at about £185 compared to a few thousand for factory new. Now when it comes to knives to pair with these, we actually have loads of options. Starting off, we have any of the vanilla knives, such as the survival knife here. These go well with the grey stripes throughout the gloves, and their simple design allows the gloves to really shine. Of course, price for the vanilla knives will depend entirely on what knife you go for, but there are a range of good budget vanilla knives, and they will also look very good in CS2, so it could be a good idea to buy them up now. Right, another even more budget option is actually the scorched knives. Now you don't see these too often, but they do actually work quite well with these gloves. We'll just use the survival knife here as an example again. This can be picked up for about £100 in field tested. That's compared to the vanilla survival knife, which costs over £270. Getting a scorched knife could also be a good option if you're looking to get a nicer knife style for quite cheap, as things like the bayonet, talon and skeleton knife can all be picked up for under £300. But if you guys prefer to splash out a little bit more, the best fitting knives with these gloves have to be the tiger tooths. They start at around £180 for the gut knife, but personally I'd go for something like the Huntsman instead at about £325. Right, now after all of that, if you wanted to save yourself some money, you can actually swap out the big game gloves for the driver overtakes for about £100 in field tested. This will save you a little bit of money, but I'd argue these don't look anywhere near as good. Just quickly before we get into combo number 3, if you are enjoying today's video, please drop a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more CSGO skin videos. Really appreciate all the support. Right, for the next combo, we're keeping in the theme of cheap sports gloves, so let's pick up the Scarlet Shammers in battle scarred for around £180. Now, similar to the big game gloves, these still look reasonably good in high floats, so allow us to make some very clean combos without spending crazy money. My personal favourite knives to pair these with is any of the slaughter knives. Now these can be picked up from about a few £100s, so while they're not the cheapest, they're not crazy expensive for how cool they look. They also wear quite well, meaning a field tested knife is more than good enough with these. I'm showing it here on the Huntsman as it is one of my favourite knife styles and is reasonably cheap at around £255. That being said, any of the other red knife styles like the Crimson Webs can work quite well here, so feel free to experiment. Okay, next combo, this one starts with the Moto Gloves Boom. Field tested on these comes in at around £150, but I wouldn't really recommend going any lower than that, as the Moto Gloves in general don't look too good in the higher floats. Now given the simple red, black and grey colour scheme of these gloves, I think it's best to pair these with the Autotronic knives. I like the Falchion Autotronic a lot, and it's a good budget option at around £170 in field tested. Other good Autotronics include the Gut Knife, which is actually very underrated at about the same price as the Falchion, or really any of the other expensive knives work quite well, just be prepared to pay quite a lot of money for some of them. Okay, and the last combo in this video involves the Broken Fang Jade gloves. These can be picked up for quite cheap, with field tested costing around £115. Now as for knives to pair these with, I have two suggestions. The first and cheaper option is any high float rust coat knife. These will pair well with the brownish metal on the back of the gloves and make for a very nice combo. The other, more expensive option is any of the Gamma Doppler knives. Any phase can work well, but the best and annoyingly most expensive phase are the phase 2s. That is excluding emeralds. These are the most green, and for something like the Huntsman here, you're looking at quite a lot of money. On the cheapest end, you have something like the Shadow Daggers that can be picked up for around £300, but yeah, in general, this one is not particularly budget friendly. But that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did, subscribe for more CSGO content, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, guys.